Hey everybody, this is week 6, I think, of this thing. So we're coding again today. Currently, it's myself and I think just one other person, a friend from school, Scott Meadows. Uh, Feel free to chime in at any time.
Hi.
Perfect. Yeah. So yep, and I'm sure some more people might join later. I know that that's happened in the past on these. So and hopefully no more trolls. We already had one person jump in, but I've disabled some features on Zoom so that that will hopefully not occur again. So yeah, we're just gonna jump right into it. So what we're gonna do today is some Advent of Code problems. So Advent of Code is a website. You can see the link up here. It is adventofcode.com. So actually I'll hop on over to the meetup site and just post that on the main area. So adventofcode.com. And then that will just be sitting there. If you guys want to participate also, that gives an easy way for anybody to use any language, really. This is not limited to a certain language. All you have to do is go into the website, and then you can start on 1. So you can see right here that 7 is going to release in 4 hours and 45 minutes. But I've already completed level 1 right here. So it's pretty interesting. It has like a little narrative here on that Santa's reindeer need to eat a lot of food, and you got to get all the stars that they want to eat. And then you'll have a challenge where sorry, I don't want to reveal any solutions here. So you'll have a challenge where it will well, maybe you'll get the answer to the first one for free on this video, but you'll have the challenge here, and then I wanted to get down far enough to show you the link to the input. So up here it gives you a test case that you can see that what the solution should be, and kind of a text form down here. But further down on the page, there's at the real input, which is much longer. I think with this first problem, the length of the input was 2,500 or so lines, and so you had to go through and consolidate those 2,500 lines into groups based on line breaks. And so you would have to sum up 1, 2, 3 line break. And so this group would be one group, this would be one group on its own, this would be another group of 2, this would be a group of 3, and this would be a group of 1, totaling to 6, 4, 11, 24, and 10,000. 10 hundreds, I was gonna say, but 10,000 calories for each of these groups. But like each of these problems is pretty similar in that way, is that they feed you a certain input and the problem in a text form, and then you need to parse that using whatever language you choose to use, and then you need to give back the solution. So the solution will be some kind of like sorted list, or some manipulation that you have to do to all the data, or like a couple manipulations that you might have to do to get to some final answer. And so it's just building functions, passing in the data, and yeah, then literally typing the solution back in here and hitting the enter key. But yeah, I use JavaScript. I know Scott is also using JavaScript, and then my girlfriend is actually using Excel, but it's dealer's choice. And right now I'm on problem 3. I fell back behind a little bit this weekend, and Scott's going to actually be working on problem 6. He's gotten through all of the problems so far. So yeah, and enjoy. I'll be commenting as we go through it, and I've told Scott, I mean, like, this is open, free, fair game. Yeah, so he'll be also commenting and maybe asking questions, and maybe I'll pass the screen share off to him if he's got anything he wants to show off. So, well, I'll get
Sounds like a plan.
here we go. Mono e mono. So I'm going to start by exiting out of this meetup. And then I do not need my Slack chat open right now. As an aside, Scott, did you see my blog post on Slack sections?
I saw it. I didn't read it,
No worries.
but I
It's
saw the link. Yeah.
I'd recommend it. Like, it's nice to collapse. I mean, you maybe have left like a lot of the channels that are kind of worthless, but like if you want to leave, if you don't want to leave the channels, but kind of like ignore like 90% of them, it's nice to tuck them away into like a section of like social, because then you can just be like, just mute that. Like,
Yeah.
maybe I'll want to check it out.
Yeah. I'll definitely check out the blog post.
Yeah. All right, so first things first, I'm actually not going to use Ubuntu tonight. So one thing that I've been doing lately is I've been trying to work more in the Windows environment. And so one thing you'll notice is that this PowerShell looks kind of goofy. This is not your granddaddy's PowerShell. This is called oh my PowerShell, or oh my Bosh, I believe. Oh my Bosh, I want to say. Oh my Posh. And so this just gives you some additional information in your PowerShell and kind of pretties it up a little bit. As you can see, it has a icon set that allows you to know if you're working in a GitHub repo, and gives you the response time that you're seeing for, say, like a fetch request, tells you the interface you're currently working in, and kind of gives that operating system feel, but just in a command line. But I've been doing too many shell manipulations lately. It leads to bad places. So first off, I'm going just to see where I'm at. So I want to change to development. Actually, I had a shortcut, but it's been removed with this new one. I need to re-link them. So first off, I need to get into development. It'll be interesting to see the terminal in here, because I had a problem earlier with my font not showing up correctly when it came to this terminal. So yeah, so it's still showing up with a strange one. So I'm gonna try, and I know that this is not probably what is the most interesting parts. So this is the problem right here. This font family can't be Firecode Retina. It needs to be a different font that is a little bit special. So this needs to be Firecode NFM Retina. And now, if I start a new shell, come on. Terminal. Integrated. Terminal. Code NFM. There we are. So now we get like pretty little symbols here. So I mean, it kind of sucks that you have to do a little bit of manipulation to your editor at VS Code level in order to get this, and also install a package, oh my Bosh. But it's kind of nice to like not be working in kind of standard ugly windows. But moving forward, so Advent Day. So first thing I always do is just get my website up. So I've already worked on this a little bit, just not enough to have a solution yet. I'll try, once I'm getting closer to a solution, maybe to stop. Just so that you can solve it on your own. But if I lose track of the recording, I'll try to remember to edit it out, so. Anyways, first things first, I do not believe I have my advent of code data for the, oh, no, I think I have it in my input. Actually, first things first, I should update my main page. So I'm just doing this in raw CSS, or sorry, raw HTML, vanilla JavaScript. And so everything that I'm doing, I'm pretty much just manually manipulating. So what I wanted to do was to update my completions. So these, I don't remember when I finished this, but it was like early. It's like 3. This one didn't take much longer. Okay. A3 rucksack crop organization. Say 03. Oh, I looked at it at like 1. This maybe is going to be 06.
Oh, Ben. 6 is so easy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I already got the first puzzle.
Nice. That's fun. What would you
5 was
say? What's the concept of it?
like programming concept,
Yeah.
parsing strings.
Oh, it's just a string part? Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's literally it's one big input and you just parse through it. It's not even you don't even have to like split it into multiple different inputs.
Hmm. That's always a nice one to get. Yeah, I maybe hop over to that one after.
Oh my word. In the second puzzle, my solution to the first puzzle works is scalable to the second puzzle.
That's always nice. I should programmatically generate this, but how do you comment? Oh, I wonder if it will let me do it in the online editor. Aha, nice. So warning to do. Really should refactor this into a Java script rendering. Check if they're solved, etc. We do. This one is solved. Right. So that updates the remote. So I need to do a git pull. And that should update my main. Oh, it's nice working in one repo. And so this is pretty much done. So I usually leave my Advent Day HTML as is. I'll update my like README, and so this will usually be where I am looking at all of my problem information. And then I always have input and input test that I just have locally all on the Windows side of it. I was doing this on the Linux on my WSL system, but I was just interested in seeing what I could do with Windows. And also there's a VS Code Insiders that looked interesting. And I just wanted to see if I could do it almost like if I could run JavaScript and HTML and everything else just as easily on Windows. And you can, there's some headaches attached to it, but it's just some different syntaxes that you have to get used to. And so now this should refresh and show check, construction. Nice. The one I want to work on. Oh, I don't even need to do it in launch because I have. Nice. Perfect. Okay. So what I need to do is print working directory. No, I'll grab it there. Oh, already did it. Nice. So where was I at? Oh yeah, so I'm pretty close to solved on this. So I've already read the data in. So I need to reset and call these something else for each of these solutions. But I kind of go from the bottom to the top when it comes to my solutions. And I sort my input data and then I group it. Usually there's some kind of grouping that needs to be done. And then there's also usually some kind of sorting that needs to be done. And so this is kind of my standard build for how to build out these solutions. And really, I should refactor my files even more, but not right now. Okay. If anybody wants this code, by the way, there our GitHub, my GitHub is public for this. Maybe it shouldn't be. In all honesty, I feel like I'm enabling cheating a little bit, but it is what it is. Let your own morality guide you. But if you want to see any of these pieces in their entirety, you can either go to GitHub or go to the debugger to see the JavaScript in its entirety. So
6 was so easy.
you just have to help me now. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you're fine. So what I need to do is pass this. So I'm already doing my inputs. And I'm doing those fine. I don't know if I need to really split these yet. Yet. Hmm. Hmm. Total. Yeah, that's not what I want. Even a score we're looking for. So what we're looking for is letters that appear in both the front and back sets. So I shouldn't be loading input right now. I need to be loading input test. So let's get this one right, and then let's go from there. So this is not a score. This is going to be an array. Oh, no, it's still going to be a score. Okay, so this is still going to be a score. Okay, we're going to do this properly this time. Star1 function is going to be current line plus equals star1 current line. Why do I need input this time? I don't need input. Okay, so what I'm doing here is moving my input list items up here. So what this does, this portion of my code. So I built all this out on like the day one of the challenge, December 1st, consequently. But like here, it's just building out the input data portion of this, and then I have this tucked away behind some collapsible sectioning from CSS. And so what this is doing is it's creating, letting, I don't even know if letting is a verb that you'd use in this case, but it's initializing the total first star score to 0. And then what I'm doing here is I'm going to call a function.
That code is
Hi there. Hi there,
Sorry.
Samarth.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't realize I was not on mute.
Oh, no,
My
you're fine. Hey, no, good to meet you. Well, welcome to the call.
Thank you.
So right now I'm just working through some of the advent code of day 3 challenge pieces. And so right now what I have done so far is set up my terminal here, not terminal, sorry, my IDE, I guess. And I was just walking through my JavaScript for calculate how I think I'm going to calculate this total first star score. So I'll just keep on going. So total first star score is going to call the star1 score. Oops. Star1. Let's call it like calculate. I like that. Star1 calculate. No. Star1 determine. Star1 calculate. Star1 determine. Yeah. Let's do calculate. No, I like transform better. Because we're transforming current line into a value based off of, okay, because we want these to always be applicable to each function that we're going to write for each day down the line. So I'm going to get rid of this. This is all my rock, paper, scissors logic. So I just used a state machine when I was doing rock, paper, scissors to go through and determine based off of 2 player states what the score was going to be. So rock and rock is a tie for 3, rock and paper 0 because rock lost to paper, and then rock and scissors is 6. I think there's an easier way to do this. I definitely think
I had to show you my solution for rock, paper, scissors if we have time.
Oh, for sure. Can you talk me through it while I'm like clearing this out?
Sure, I can share my screen if you like.
Sure, like most of this stuff is just cleanup and like functionalizing it, so let me stop my share and I'll let you go.
Open it up first. Was that day 2?
Day 2, rock, paper, scissors.
Oh, rats. It's doing the weird thing with my monitor again.
Oh, no.
All right. Now this should work, hopefully. Nope, it's doing it again.
Current line. So I'm gonna console log my current line and console log my current line. Split. Can I split that? Can I split that just out of character in the middle? Like what is split's argument?
All right, let me look this up real quick.
All right, do you want me to start sharing again?
Yeah, I'll probably be a little bit.
Oh, no worries. What are you running?
Hmm?
Oh, what operating system do you run?
On Windows. I think it's an issue with my monitor because I'm using like a monitor plugged into my laptop, but I have a separate display on my laptop as well.
Hmm.
Never had this issue before, but yeah, every now and then.
That's too bad. Recently I was having a Bluetooth USB issue, where it turned out to be that it was actually loose on my motherboard, and I never realized it. And so like it had been like cutting in and out, and then eventually like a couple days ago I was like in the middle of lecture and I completely lost like my USB mouse and keyboard, and I was just like, all right, guess I'm just you know, taking pen and paper notes for the rest of the lecture. But yeah, I was finally was like, this sucks. Like it just keeps on cutting out for like minutes at a time. And
Yeah.
you can't deal with it. And then you're like, oh, hardware. I keep on trying to solve it all with software, and you're like, oh, sometimes it's the other side of the equation. I don't think you can do like regex with split, because that would be really nice. Because really what I'm trying to say here is like any character. But I want to say like any character in a set of 10, but I just don't think split. Does split accept regex? Interesting. One, two, three, four. Okay. So this is going to become a regex problem. Regex 101. Insert my test string here. Okay, so my first test string is, oh, I hate when so that's what sucks about like these previews, is sometimes like you double click on them instead of going to where you want to, or copying what you want to. It's like copying the base level string, or the base level code, like the markdown. Oh man, I cannot remember for the life of me. Dot 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 dot. So that's like a single character a piece. So dots is just like a chunk. But I can't use dots to represent. No, this is silly. I should not be using regex when I have better ways. Okay. So we do know the current line length. And we do know. So what if we did like a const first line, first half equals. Oh, substring. Oh, thanks, tab 9. Tab 9. Probably could just like, that'd be interesting if you just commented in like the entirety of the instructions from the Advent of Code website, if it would just like solve it for you. This is not gonna work. It needs to be non-inclusive. But it's always gonna be even. So this is gonna be -1. And this is gonna be -1. So 20. 20 would be 0 to 9. And 10 to 19. But the length would be 20. So you need to -1 on both sides of this. And then I wanna see first half space second half. Okay, so now we can refresh this and hit our start button, and the debugger should catch. Oh, yeah, that doesn't look like a thing that should be defined. Current line. Where is that? 32, line 32. Ah, yes, that is probably not the best thing to pass. Okay, how about now? There we go. So the debugger catches, and I'm just going to do a little scooting here. We don't need the preview right now. I think we have the problem. Be fine. I'm just gonna say, this is impressive. The arrows on these comments perfectly line up. And I don't know if Windows did that or if I did, luckily, but that is like perfect matching. Okay, so going through this, it should take the current line, which it did. So it took the data passed in at current line, and it is going to go through and log some pieces. Let's just let it go. Oh, results doesn't exist. That's a good point. So takes it, splits it. Why is there 2 spaces? Interesting. What should we return? Return 0. I think that works. Yeah, so we go. Empty string.
Hey, when it's a good time, I'd like to try sharing screens again.
Oh yeah, now's a good time. I'm trying to debug why my string isn't splitting right. And so I used a freaking tab 9 help thing, not help, an autocomplete, and it's just bugging out. Here, I'll stop the share. Okay, so it's grabbing. Oh, the comma already has it. That makes sense. Through W. Hmm. What happens? It like so on my side, it looks like it's like loading.
It keeps, my monitor keeps flickering to black every
Yeah.
like 5 seconds.
Well, I can see like portions of it, like it's like it's loading, it's rendering your browser, but like then the top bar is like in slashes. Like you should do it again, and then I'll take like a screenshot of it. 'Cause I'm just debugging. I'm just literally putting like -1s in and out of my code. Like, I don't know how exciting it is. Yeah, here, let me take a screenshot and I'll show what I'm seeing. Okay, so I'll Slack it to you. I don't even know if that's a verb. Slack it to you.
Silly.
I'll Slack it to you. Manage screen share settings.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'll share my screen again. So all I did since was add another -1 here and then a -1 there. Because I think what I need is a first half and a second half. And I think I can maybe clean this up more later, but for now, like, obviously I just gotta start somewhere. Let's go to start and hit play. So, missing the P. Am I missing the H? No, I'm just missing the P. Okay. And then let's do a notepad. Okay, that looks right. It's 26, maybe. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Is notepad? No, that's only 12. And that's 13. Where are we missing somebody? Who's being left out of the party? Or somebody?
It's the very last P, isn't it?
Yeah, why is there a P? Why is this? Huh? So,
Ben, when
so,
you do substring, when you do
yeah,
the substring on current line, the second half, if you
Mhm.
give substring one parameter, it'll automatically go to the end of the string.
So this one is overkill.
Yeah, it's overkill in terms of like you don't need it.
Gotcha.
And
I feel like
actually, you
this,
just keep going, keep going.
I think this one, oh no,
Yeah.
you're fine, yeah. So I think this one needs to be reset to that, maybe? So like now if I hit my start. Yeah. So I feel like this is still uneven. So this is grabbing the full of it, but this feels like it's grabbing twice the length.
Yeah, I think it's right with just divided by 2, because if you have like a string of length 24
Yeah,
divided by 2, you get 12. So that's going to take up to index 12, which will be the first half.
yeah,
If it's odd, like 23,
yeah.
it'll take, I guess, up to Well, I guess it won't, we don't have to worry about that because I think the strings are always.
They
even in
guaranteed,
the
yeah,
input.
they gave us, I thought they gave us, what would be in like an underlying assertion, an assumption, yeah. Yeah, a given red set, yeah, there you go,
Right. Cool.
yeah.
So yeah, now
So,
you got your two strings, right?
yeah, so I'll even post that in there. Like a lock. Yeah, so I have my two strings. So I don't really need a well, I'll just leave that debugger there. So now, like, I want to for I blah, 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 blah. Lowercase p. Gosh, this would be filter, I believe. But we have to break this apart, don't we? Not filter.
If you use the spread operator on
Whoa.
a string, does it automatically?
Look at that tab 9. Yeah, I think it does. So like if I did filter like what would it be like? E goes to, yeah, there it was giving me the hint, I think. I wonder what it would even be. E goes to E. Huh, so I'm gonna walk through this tab 9, but I don't know if I understand it. So E is the first half filters down based off of an element that has to equal the first half element I. That doesn't make sense. How can you do a first half element I for each?
It's filtering and then it's for eaching the filtered array.
So I don't know what I'd be filtering the second half on though. Like,
I don't know why
heard
the
about
tab
this.
9's doing that, man.
Yeah, tab 9 is like way overkill. Like, I don't know. Yeah, it doesn't know what I'm trying to do yet.
Frankly, I'd say too, like, even if it did work, like
Mhm.
it's really, really hard to read.
Oh yeah.
So
like,
it'd just be a lot easier to like, split out your code into a few lines. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm probably gonna head out at 8 because I'm washing my car right now. And I want
Ah,
to get a little more done on that tonight. So
yeah, no worries. I think I'm close. So first half filtered on the element being equal. Oh, I don't need to have this for loop around this. Yeah, this isn't, well, so I guess I was thinking like, I don't need to have this for loop, but then I was like, oh, if I just use this to filter it on, then this would go through it. It would go through every element in the second half. But like, isn't filter destructive? And so like,
no, filtered isn't destructive.
so I would need to like on 0 break out of this, but man, like, I feel like this is getting like kind of weird now.
I think you'd either want to choose using the for loop or a filter.
Yeah,
Either or,
yeah,
probably not
I
both.
I hear you. Hmm. feeling more and more inefficient, but I think it'll do the job.
Yeah, you are gonna have to parse through both of them, I think, because
I don't know if like there's a quicker way, like even if I was using dot filter, if I use dot filter twice, that's literally,
it's doing the same thing. Yeah,
yeah,
you can have it. You can save some efficiency, because as soon as you find like the one item that's shared between the both of them, you
yeah,
can break out of your loops
but it's
because
still
you
like,
found.
yeah, yes, yeah, that's true. But it's the same algorithmic efficiency, right?
It would be, but that would save you on average.
It'd be
half the
more greedy.
time.
Yeah, I hear you. So for this, I would just be saying like first half, I don't know, I don't want you, let final letter equal whatever. Uh, if first half I equals second half J, then break. Oh wait. Final letter equals first half I break. Where am I screwing up here? Oh, break. Oh, now that's clean. Yeah. Format selection. So now I should have a console. Log final. Sorry, Scott. I know you were saying you needed to get going.
Oh, I
eh,
kind of forgot I said that, but thanks for reminding me.
Hey, I appreciate you stopping in and working through these. To be honest, this is hilarious because my mouse literally just stopped working.
I don't know. Samarth just sent a very kind message in chat.
Oh, that's great. What'd they send?
Gents, I need to drop. I'm a novice, so this was helpful to watch. Thank you for sharing.
Oh, that was great.
Yeah, hopefully we see him come back.
Yeah, for sure. Hopefully I can move my mouse soon.
Yeah, that'd be nice too.
Yeah. All right, Scott. Well, good luck finishing cleaning your car, and thanks so much for helping me out with that. I was like, wait a sec, this is still gonna be like a filter no matter what I do, but
Yeah.
yeah. All right.
You could probably do a filter for it.
Yeah.
It'd just be a little harder to read, I think.
Yeah, I don't know,
Although,
like, because we're
being
already
said-
doing algorithmic stuff, like I'm like, a for loop is like much more purely grabbing the elements, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
I'm also a little biased when it comes to those things because I'd learned Java first.
Mm,
And in Java, you can't do callback functions in Java.
mm,
So there's no such thing as like a map, filter, anything else. You always have to write your own for loops.
mm, gotcha.
But
I mean, even
Yeah, I
like
mean,
when I'm looking at this now, I'm like, oh, is first half and second half necessary? Like we're already iterating through the elements, like I can just expand the string like inside it.
I think
Yeah.
I think you would have to though,
Oh, because I can't expand
because
string and call it
you will have to iterate through twice or like do a nested iteration rather, because
Yeah.
you're needing to check like each element in the first one. You need to make sure you need to check if it's in the second one.
Yeah. And so the
And
most you can save is the break. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying now is like you can't not check. It doesn't matter how long it is. If you don't find it yet, you still have to keep checking.
Well, in theory, what you could do is you could iterate through you could do rather than nested iteration, you could do two separate iterations. However, you'd have to take up more space. So you'd be sacrificing space efficiency. You'd create an object, and that object would just have, it would have keys corresponding to characters. And as soon as that
Oh.
key is initialized, just set it to true. And so go through the first half. Whenever you hit a character, just set that key in the object to true. If that character has already shown up, it's not really going to do anything. So essentially you have an object with all the letters or the characters that have showed up in the first half, then parse through the second half. And for each one, just check if that key is true inside that object.
Hmm.
And that will actually save you from a nested loop, but you'll have to store that object, obviously, which, you know, that's not much data either. It's literally just a
Yeah, you're wiping
true
it.
false,
Yeah.
true false object. So
I feel like I struggle a little bit in my mind to like wrap my head around why that is more efficient.
So rather than going through your first array, and so right now it's going through the first half, and for each character in the first half, it's looking through the entire second half for that character.
Mhm.
Instead, what this would do is you'd go through your first half, you'd essentially make a list of all the characters that have showed up,
Mhm.
and then you'd go through the second half, and just for each character in the second half, you'd check if it's on the list. And since it's stored in an object with the keys being those characters, it doesn't require iteration, because an object key call is just considered a singular operation, singular computation.
I got
So
it.
it's like, if
Yeah,
we were
no,
to
I-
analogize it,
Yeah.
real quick, just because
Yeah.
it's a fun, stupid idea.
Sure.
Going to the grocery store,
Yeah.
I'm at home, I look at one item on my grocery list, and I go to the grocery store, search the entire grocery store, grab that item, bring it back, then look at the next item, versus writing down that list, going through my refrigerator, writing down that list, and then taking it to the store, and then going through the store, just one loop through the store. And yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, no, I hear you. No, I like that. I think that's gonna be at least a little prettier.
Yeah.
Because, so you're saying like, say, make an object that's like for first half, like we still have to do the loop through, but then
Yeah.
on the loop, it's going to be like first half object or first half letters. And
Yeah.
then that's gonna split the letters into like the consisting parts, which are whatever. Like it doesn't really matter if there's repeats. I would actually be probably doing like destructuring there, because I don't even need to check for repeats. I could save like a couple operations, because it's just looking for repeats in each
You could have,
set.
you put basically one statement inside your for loop,
Yep.
which would just be like, you know,
Assign
your letter list. Yeah, letter list. And then, yeah, if you have a repeat, it's not going to matter, because it's just reassigning it to true.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. No, I just gotta get a mouse that will work.
Yeah, that'd be nice. All right. Have a good night, Ben. Good luck on your project.
Hey, you too, Scott. Oh, wait, I have to wait at least. See ya.
See ya.
Bye. Yeah, as soon as I plugged in a USB mouse, it came back. All right. Bye, everybody.